Mike, you wrote this book 3 years ago. You said you recently reread your book. I'm just curious. I'm planning to read it starting tomorrow. And I'm just curious, are there any significant points you would change or add to the book if you were to rewrite it today?
Well, yeah, there would be an update to it, and I would add in that chapter 1 + 1 = 1 trillion about the differences between the previous bull market in precious metals and the market as it exists today, because the differences are just vast. That was probably the most important chapter in the book, and the editors cut it. But you know, the market for gold and silver was North America and Western Europe. There was the commodities exchanges here and the London Metals Exchange, and that was it. The USSR couldn't participate. It was a state-run economy, and they had no markets. And even if you could buy gold on the black market, it didn't affect the worldwide spot price. China, under Mao, nobody could afford gold, and if they could buy some, it didn't affect the spot price. India was very poor. Mexico and South America were very poor. And today we have billionaires living in all those countries. Today you have 10 times more populations that can come chasing gold and silver. Everyone has 10 times more currency. And within each one of those populations, this is a biggie, there's a change in the development of the investor mindset. When the previous gold bull market was happening, I was too young to be interested. I think I had just started my first or second business, but my father ran in and bought some gold right at the peak, and so did all of his friends. But my parents' generation was a generation of savers. Until Nixon took us off of the Bretton Woods system, where the dollar was connected to gold and inflation was limited, a person could go to work and expect that if they saved 10% of their paycheck every single month, by the time they got into their 60s, they could retire and live off of that plus the interest. They'd live off of the savings account and the interest for the rest of their lives. And that went out the window when Nixon took us off of gold, and all of these savers got punished. They got wiped out to inflation. And then we created the ERISA Act and forced people to become investors. And then we had the NASDAQ boom, and everybody got a trading station. And then we had a real estate boom, and everybody became a real estate flipper or real estate investor. My parents' generation, my father almost bought an apartment building. He almost bought an office building. I don't really know any of his friends or our neighbors that were investors then. They were savers. Today, everybody is an investor. Everybody had a trading station, or they own some stocks. They've got some sort of portfolio, and it's not just a savings account in the bank or a CD or something like that. So in the United States, I have a feeling it's somewhere between 10 and 100 times more people with an investor mindset than there was back in the 70s bull. But there wasn't one investor in all of the USSR and all of China, not one. So that's half the world's population, and now investing is a sport in Shanghai. And so I think that it's somewhere between like 100 and 1,000 times, when you add up the entire planet, more people with an investment mentality that are either looking for that thing that is going to secure their retirement or buy them that new Lamborghini. And so when you add up 10 times the people with 10 times the currency and 100 to 1,000 times more people that are likely to come chasing the next big investment boom, it's something completely nuclear. This is ballistic. It's going to go to insane valuations.